Well, as you can probably see, I've blown apart the caliper to about, well, a few over a dozen bits. And as you can see, everything is covered in white paint and or dirt. Check that out. And that's the good one. Look at this. Some clowns just painted straight over the top of that rubbish. Well, you get that. So the worst part of blowing these apart was getting these little feet out of there. They were frozen in there. But a bit of penetrating fluid and soaking overnight made light work of that. I just literally came out, pushed them out. But literally everything, I mean, that's the back of the brake disc pad, everything is covered in either white paint and or rust. So everything is going to need a good clean on the wire wheel. I don't know, some pieces I may even polish, who knows. I'll see how I feel when I get it all clean. Alright, let's get into it. Well, that's the majority of it. Still need to do sort of in here, that sort of area there, and maybe the same in here. So yeah, there's still a couple like in there. There's no way I'm getting in there with that wire brush. I'm going to need to get in there with something a bit finer. The same with these things. Now these are, as I said before, they're the little pushy things. I'm going to have to sand those out too, because that's a rather tight fit. I mean, it moves, but it could be looser. And just like inside the springs and stuff like that. But that's the bulk of the job done. Now I've got to finish it and put it all back together. Well, here's all the bits for the what do you call it, a caliper, except the two arms, they're still hanging up. The pads themselves, I coated they were pretty so I deglazed the surface and I just cleaned them up and gave them a coat of black. Pretty much everything else, all the hardware and everything I just sprayed a silver Gal primer on. And they're just bare aluminium, as are they. Now I'm going to put it all back together. I'm going to start off, these things here, they are the actuation plungers. They push the pads out. The pad sits there, and as you push the arm, that pushes that out. So, seeing that they seized, I'm going to give them a very liberal coat of grease. All around there. Pop that in there. Wipe that lot off. And then I'm going to bolt that back in. So these are about a 5-piece anchor system. You got the bolt, and you have this sleeve, which retains a little brass sleeve, which retains the spring. All that screws into there. Go. There we go. That's one started. And you see the brass sleeve goes down inside there. And the spring sits between those two. So I can put them on there like that. And the bolt goes on the top. That's caught it. Alright, now I'll do the other one. Right, now that's done. Now, here is the bracket, the anchor bracket. Now, as you can see, that's been cut because I did trial fit it and pretty much know where this piece sat was a great position for the desk. It just didn't line up anywhere. So obviously what I had to do was separate those two and I have to bolt that on, weld that on, and then weld these two together once I get everything in position. Now the fun part here is I need to put this together with enough distance between the two pads, and you know what, that's probably going to be enough because the old disc was, I think, a 6mm disc. The new one's only 3mm, so all these spaces I'm probably not going to need them. So I'm just going to go and trial fit that to the disc and see how we go. You guys can see this. Okay, obviously there's the disc, there's the caliper on just the bracket, and there is actually quite a bit of movement there. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put one of the plates in because, well, for now anyway, because for starters, well, the plates, the pads aren't worn even. It's thinner at the top than it is at the bottom. And of course, yes, I did just have it on upside down. So I think I'm going to put one of those plates in just to move it out that little bit and see how that goes. So you're probably asking yourself, if there's enough gap, why create a bigger gap? Well, that's mostly because I'm the kind of thinker who says it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Because at the end of the day, I can adjust a lot. I can adjust how far the arms sit out, I can adjust the distance between the arms, I can adjust the pull on the cable. There's just so much adjustment. I just feel better having bigger space than a smaller space, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, let's keep going. Let's put the rest of this baby together. Okay, that's pretty much everything together. Now these well, bolts here, these threaded bars here, are actually the adjusters for the arms. They control how far apart these arms sit. I'm not going to adjust them yet, obviously. I'm going to wait until I get it all on the cart, set in place. Then I'll do all that final adjustment, because as I said, there are multiple adjustments on this. I can adjust these, I can adjust how far the cable sits, lots of stuff. So I'll do all that once it's back on the go-kart.